Hi, how you going? It's been about 6 months since I uploaded my EDC kit video, and I've made some changes in that time, and it seemed like people liked those videos. It's been by far my most watched video. So I thought I'd do an update and I'll show you what I've got in here. And these kits, I keep them in my backpack when I'm going to work. I chuck them in my bag when we're going away for the weekend. So I'll start with the blue one. I'm still using these same cases. They still do the job. It's kind of packed full, as you can see, but it holds up. There's no issues with the seams or anything like that, which is really nice. Once again, I'll link to all these products in the description if there's anything you'd like yourself. I've got a little cable pull on there that I made. If you'd like to learn how to make that, I'll link it up here. But yeah, let's get into it and see how we go. So firstly, I have Bic lighter. It's a necessary thing to have in there. I now have a cable tie around it, which was suggested by Mackie32X4 in the comments. Thank you for leaving the comments. It's helped me make the kit a lot better. Next, I have the Gerber dime, which is a great little multi-tool. It's got the pliers, it's got knife, it's got tweezers. It's a really good little tool, and yeah, I really like it. Next, this is probably unnecessary, I have just a little Swiss Army knife. So this one just has simple knife, file, and the scissors and toothpick. So next, this is a new addition to the kit. I have this. It's just a simple little tape measure. I found regularly that I'm going to the hardware shop or IKEA or something like that, and I don't have a tape measure with me. So I've just put this one in, then it's in my backpack if I need it, and it only goes to 3 feet or a meter, but that's enough for most of the things I'm doing. Next, I have some earplugs. These are great. I use them at concerts. I didn't wear earplugs for a lot of my early gigs that I went to, and my ears are suffering for it now, so it's really good to have them there just in case they're needed. Even though I have tweezers in the Gerber and in the Swiss Army knife, I've got an actual proper set of tweezers. These ones just came from a pharmacy. I was going to get the really compact ones, but felt that they were not necessary. So just got for these, and these are really useful. Continuing on with things that I probably don't need but are good to have, I've got this little thing. It's a little box cutter. This is mostly seen Amazon packages, but that's really useful. Next, I have a torch. This is a little Nightcore tube. It's a really good little torch. It's got a dull, and then it's got quite a bright. It's chargeable by micro USB. It'd be nice if it was C, but I've still got a micro cable around, so that's good to have. Next, and I believe this is a new addition to the bag, I have a Gerber dime. It's quite a simple little tool. It's a pry bar mostly on that end, and it's got a bottle opener in it. It's just a really good little tool. It's solid. I used to carry this in my pocket all the time when I did physical work. This is something else that I use quite regularly. It is a fold-out spork. I got this one from Decathlon, I believe. It's just plastic. It's simple, but I use this all the time for when I'm eating lunch at work. I don't want to get plastic cutlery and just throw it out afterwards, so I have this. It folds up nice and compact, but it is a full-size one when you need it, and it's got the fork and the spoon, so that's really good. What have I got next? Next, I just have some super glue, and I have this in a bag because Samson CJ and Sean Kane in the comments suggested doing so, because if it explodes, then it ends up all over everything. So thank you for leaving that comment, and that might save all the rest of my bag from potential disaster. Another new addition to the kit is a glue stick. This is one that goes in a hot melt glue gun, but you can use it with the lighter. You light up the end, and it's just a nice glue when the super glue isn't the right glue for the job. This is also a new addition to the kit. I don't even know in what circumstance I'll use it. It's one of these fishing lights that you break and it lights up for quite a few hours. I have used them before when I'm camping, and you snap it and you put it on your tent so you know which tent is yours, so you can find your way in the dark, that kind of stuff. Next, I have notebook. This is just a little moleskin notebook. This is good if you want to actually take physical notes, write something down. And tucked inside that, I have $20. It's always useful to have cash with you when cards are down or phone won't work, that kind of stuff. To go with the notebook, I've got a couple of pens in here. I'm not sure why I need both. I've got the same one I had in the kit last time, which is just a Bic pen. These are ubiquitous, they're everywhere. Now I've also got this one, which I found in the cupboard, which is which is good. You can't lose the end. It's quite small and compact, but it's really nice to write with. It's made by Delphonics. I'll link to that in the description. It's quite a good little fine pen. I quite like that one. I've also got a mini Sharpie. Next thing I've got is, it's a piece of elastic cord, stretchy cord with a toggle on it so you can tighten it up. I've used this for cables. Yeah, I discovered this from a photography YouTuber, and I've always had one in a kit since, and they come in handy quite regularly. The next tool that gets used quite a lot is the Knipex pliers. These are really good multi-grip, so they can go from about that distance to quite small, and they're just really solidly made, and they're just a cool thing. It's a really nice piece of design, so I really like having that there. And I bought it because I really wanted it, not necessarily because I needed it, but I found myself using it a lot more than I thought I would when I bought it, so that's there as well. The next couple of things is surgical mask in a bag. We're past the point where you have to wear these all the time, but sometimes it's just nice to have one there if you need it, so I've got that one there. I've also got some medication in a bag. I've got some paracetamol, some ibuprofen, and some a bit more hardcore anti-inflammatories for my knees, so they're there if I need them. I've also got some band-aids and some alcohol cleaning swabs in a little bag. The little bag was suggested by Kanzi in the comments, so thank you very much for that. The next thing I've got in here was suggested by Jane Smythe in the comments. They came from Daiso, and they're just little cable ties that have a rubberized coating, so they're really useful little things just for temporarily tying something together. So I've got a couple of these in here, and I've also got one in my electronics kit, which I'll show you as well. So yeah, really cool things, and they cost $3.10 for a pack of them, so really cool. The next thing I've got is a new addition to the kit as well. It's just some snap lock bags. I've got multiple different sizes in there rolled up, and they're really good to have if you don't want something just open and spilling everywhere. I also have some tissues in a little Ziploc bag. Can always need tissues. They're good to have there if you need them. Still going on this kit, as you can see, there's quite a lot of stuff in here. I have some string. It's just builder's twine. Very useful stuff. I don't need to go much further into that. I also have a few of these, which are really fun. They're the little towels that you put liquid on them and they expand out, and they're sort of one-use things, and I've used them when we're away and my partner needed a makeup wipe. They worked well for that. Or you can add some hand sanitizer to them and you've got sort of an alcohol wipe. So yeah, they're really cool things, and you get a packet of 100 of them for not a lot of money, so I've just thrown a few in there. I also have a set of nail clippers. Attached to the kit, I also have a couple of safety pins. Again, a thing that if you need them, they're always good to have, and they take up no space. In this little tube, I just have a few servings of hand sanitizer. It's a little tube that I squeezed off the end with some pliers and burnt with the lighter, and it seals it in quite nicely, so that's there if I need it. I also have some gaff tape wrapped around a card and some cable ties. These are really good. I used these out of my kit and had to replenish when I was tying up all the cables under my desk at work. This, again, is a new addition to the kit. It's a tiny little, it screws off on either end, and you've got a flat screwdriver there and a Phillips on that end. I've recently started wearing glasses, so having a glasses screwdriver to tighten that up is useful. On this little piece of card, I have my name and phone number and email address. If someone finds the kit or finds my bag and finds this inside it, then hopefully that'll mean I get my stuff back. In here, I have a little sewing kit with a few already threaded needles and some buttons for just a white button and a black button that'll get me through. And I've made a little case, that was what was suggested in the comments, so that the needles don't poke through everything. The case is just made out of gaff tape. We have some fold-out scissors. The little scissors on the Gerber or on the Swiss Army knife, they do well in a pinch, but these are much better because they've just got more cutting area and they're nicer to hold and all that kind of stuff, and they fold up quite small. A good little set. I also have the screwdriver, which I believe was in the kit last time, which has Phillips head on one end and flat on the other, and because it's bent in this way, it's got both of them on there and you can get nice leverage. And lastly, in this kit, I have the little Listerine pocket packs. They are a little sheet that feels like plastic. Put it on your tongue and your mouth's all minty fresh. So they're a really good thing to have. So that's the blue kit done. Now into the red kit, which is electronics and that kind of stuff. So the first main thing in this is a power bank. I have this one, it's a 10,000 milliamp hours, so it'll get a couple of charges for your phone, but I can also charge my cameras with this, or the torches, or my watch, or anything. So it's a really good one. Micro USB in or USB-C in, and it's got USB-A out or C out. It's quite cheap, but it puts out 25 watt, 35 watts, something like that. It's quite powerful. To go with that and to charge it should I need to, I have this. It's the smallest Australian USB plug that I could find. Plug it into the wall. It's got USB-C out and USB-A out. That's actually the smallest one I could find. If anyone knows of any that is smaller, that would be amazing. I've seen UK ones that fold up to practically nothing, but I can't seem to find an Australian one that does that. And I also have, to go with that, this was suggested by CHS Bobcat 1 in the comments. It's the in-charge little cable, and this is so cool. It's got USB-C on one end and USB-A on the other, but it also opens up and it's got this little plug, which has lightning and also micro USB in the one plug, which is really quite impressive. And on the other side we have USB-C, so we can go C to C, A to C, C to lightning, C to micro, or A to micro, or A to lightning. So yeah, there's every different combination, and it folds up so tiny with a little magnet to keep it shut, and that just sits in there. As someone who likes gadgets, this is quite a cool thing. So thank you CHS Bobcat 1 for suggesting that. That also eliminated all the other cables out of the kit, so I don't need to be carrying them around all the time. So next I have a set of wired headphones. I still have a phone that has a headphone jack. I use wired headphones for editing video on my laptops, for that kind of thing. I also have this little thing. It's a little light, and you plug it in, there it is, and it just lights up. So it could be a little reading light, night light, even a torch in a pinch plugged into the power pack. So that's a cool little thing to have. I think this is a new addition. I added in just a microfiber cleaning cloth, so that's really good for screens, for my new reading glasses, for any of that kind of stuff. That's good to have. And I have two different versions of the same thing, a USB-C to USB-A. So it's like an OTG cable. This means that I can plug USB sticks or anything like that into my phone, or like a lot of computers and tablets these days only have the USB-C. So that means I can just plug anything into it with that. On the same note, I also have a USB-C to 3.5mm for plugging headphones or microphones into phones or computers. So this is a new addition to the kit. It's a USB data blocker. I've heard it referred to as a digital condom. It's where you are using a public charging point in an airport, in a bus, in a pub, anywhere like that, and you're worried about people stealing the data out of your phone, or the company that's running that doing something dodgy. So what this does is it blocks any data connection to your phone, and it only allows the power through, so you can charge your phone safely in public. It's quite a cool little thing. The next thing I have is, for some reason, I've got two USB sticks. These are still quite useful things, even in the age of cloud storage and all of that. The two that I've got both have USB-C on one end and USB-A on the other, and I use these regularly for transferring video files from my phone to my computer, or from my computer to my phone, or just between different computers. I also have a micro SD inside an adapter, so this is there if one of my cameras runs out of storage, and it's only 8 gig, but it'll get me through to the end of the recording, or until I can go and get another card or something like that. Having the micro in the adapter means that an adapter will work in my bigger cameras, or the micro will work in my GoPro or other cameras that take the micro. So we're getting towards the end. This is one of those little bendy cable ties suggested by Jane Smythe in the comments. I also have a safety pin for pressing reset buttons on cameras and devices, and in there I also, attached to that, I have a SIM ejection tool, which you always need. And I also have the little plastic edge off a SIM card, because I'm regularly dealing with my parents' phones, and they've got older phones, they might need this, but I've got the micro SIM, so this is what I can use for testing out their phones and fixing them. The same thing that I had last time. It's a little micro Joby tripod and a fold-out phone tripod that will hold that. So between the two of them, you screw that into there and you've got a phone stand or a phone tripod, or yeah, using the phone for filming or even just watching a film and having the phone sit up on the bench. This is a relatively new addition. It's a USB-C to HDMI. I found I needed this before I even used it, and I put one in the kit and I've used it multiple times since. It means that I can plug my phone or a computer into a TV, or I used it when someone had stolen the dongle off my desk at work and I needed to plug my laptop into the monitor. So really good little one to have. This is a card reader. It reads SD and micro SD, and on one end it's got USB-C and on the other it's got A and micro. And I believe that's everything. So this is all the stuff I carry with me regularly. It looks like a lot of stuff here, but when it's packed up into the two kits, it's not a lot. And the red kit weighs 475 grams, which is 16.8 ounces, or the blue one weighs 511 grams, which is 18 ounces. So between them, it's about a kilo, which in a backpack is not that much stuff, considering the usefulness of it all. So thank you very much for watching. It really means a lot when people watch my videos, engage with them, like them, and leave comments. I just really like it. So thank you very much for that. Thank you if you've watched the whole thing. If there's any questions that you have about any of this stuff, let me know in the comments and I can answer it. I'll leave links to all of this in the comments as well, so that if there's anything you want, you can click on that link and it'll take you straight to where you can buy it yourself. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.